Hey everybody, nice to meet you all. My name's Phil, and I've known Lewis now for quite a few years.
Yeah.
I breed and keep many hundreds of tarantulas. I've got at my house, I've got a converted garage, and that's where I keep all of my spiders. So they're all nice and warm, and they're all safe in their own little house in the garage. And that's where I keep and breed tarantulas. So Lewis has had quite a few spiders off me over the years, and he's kindly asked me along today, which I'm really chuffed about, because any opportunity that I've got to talk about spiders, I always grab it with both hands. So what I think I'll do to start off with is I'll walk round. I've got a exoskeleton on my hand, which is a spider skin. So for those people that don't know, for the spider to get bigger, it has to get rid of its old skin, and then it creates a new skin. So when they molt, it looks as though you've got two identical spiders at the same time. But you haven't. What you've got is a skin like this one, and then you end up with a real spider, which are some of the ones that I brought along here today as well. So I'm just going to walk around with this. If you want to hold it, put your hand up. If you don't want to hold it, that's fine. I won't come anywhere near you, because I know some people get a little bit frightened about spiders. But if you want to hold it, if you put your hand up, then I'll know that it's safe for me to let you hold it. And then if somebody can take photographs, if they're doing that.
Ryan, do you want to?
Yeah, and then obviously if you want photographs later to show your friends and family how brave you've got to spider, then we'll do that.
I have.
Okay? So if you keep your hand up, I'll walk round and I'll show you what spider skin looks like and explain them to you. I'll tell you what, I'm going to start with this end.
Elizabeth, you don't have a look. No. Sandra?
Don't have a look.
It's not alive, Sam.
It's not live. That's just it sitting.
Want to turn you around, Sam?
If anybody wants a photograph of the skin, then I think that'll just somebody take that. Right. Okay. I'm going to grab my phone.
They mate all the time if you allow them, or
No, so
got a seat.
yeah, so they all see it's called condition.
Do it now, we'll put it on YouTube. She probably won't know, no one else. She'd probably just turn around and put a foot in your face.
Yeah, probably.
Not sassy. My spider, she's sassy. Yeah. Puts a foot in your face.
She's very stubborn, isn't she?
Can be.
It's not alive.
Oh, look at that, Mitch.
That's exactly what we want to hear. People say, wow.
And you got Monty on it, it'll be a different story. Love you. Oh, where?
Yeah.
Get Ryan.
Spoken free. Leah might be coming down. Scott and Rebecca.
You went to pets and all to be said that you dropped a box of pets and all short.
I dropped him in my bedroom.
I have as well.
Yeah,
dropped him in my bedroom.
I unboxed the box and they put no tape on it.
Just let's go round with him on the shark over there. Trying to move
You know what happens, mate, when I open the cardboard box? And they hadn't put tape on, and 3 boxes fell all over the floor.
And you know what so noisy as well?
I get silent.
Oh, do you?
But guess what? My nan's sprayed bug freshener and we also grown by counted.
Oh
So
no, these ones are tiptoe into my bedroom. Well, I'll cricket.
no, mate. These they're all dead. My nan used to put the inverts and and they all crawled out like counted doing dead zombies. On the floor. We found like 100 on the floor.
I don't know.
So, is there anything that anybody else can tell me about spiders? When you think of spiders, what's the first thing that you think
Web.
of? Webs. Now, most of the tarantulas, interestingly, they don't put any webs down. So, there's some exceptions. So this one here, which is called the green bottle blue tarantula, which hopefully you can all come up and have a look at.
Something's got a close.
He puts lots of webs down in his tank. But if you look at all the other tanks, there's hardly any webs. So tarantulas, they're ambush hunters, but they normally hide in caves and rocks and places like that. And they just wait for little Mr. Cricket to come along. So I brought Mr. Cricket along here, just so you can see what they eat. So Mr. Cricket comes along, thinking, oh, this is nice outside here. And then all of a sudden, this tarantula comes out, grab him. So, anything else about spiders?
Yeah. Should have brought them there.
Oh, I had me.
We had some more.
Halloween.
That's how many legs does a spider got?
There. Eight.
How many legs? Eight.
Eight.
Well done. Yeah. So every spider has 8 legs. So it's part of the arachnid family. And all arachnids have 8 legs. Some people think spiders are insects, but they're not. Insects only have 6 legs. So every arachnid has 8 legs, and every spider has 8 legs. So there's different types of tarantulas and spiders. So the tarantulas are the biggest spiders in the world. Okay, so they're the biggest by leg span, and they're also the biggest by weight. So some of them can actually weigh quite a lot, despite it being like a feather. When it's full of spider stuff inside, you can get quite heavy. No, we don't. So that's a very good question. So there might be a few outside.
Bill, we have scorpions in the UK.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, we've got scorpions.
Yellow tail.
Yeah, so you can get them on every continent, right? So you can get them in Europe, Asia, Africa, America, all those types of places, India. That's generally where they come from. So you do need warm. So in here it's nice and warm, so they're okay. And you can actually keep a tarantula in your house. You don't need extra heating. As long as your house is warm. Yeah, as long as your house is warm, about 20 degrees, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. So what they do is so a spider, one of the other things that every spider can do is lay down silk. So you talked about web before. That's part of the silk that comes out of the spider, and they use different silk for different things. So if you're a pregnant female spider, you've got silk that will lay a big massive silk. She'll lay all her eggs in the middle, and then she'll wrap it up into a ball, and it looks like a ball of cotton wool. Yeah. So when you're outside, if you look on some of the spiders' webs, and in brambles and places like that, you'll often see something that looks like a little cocoon. Those are baby spiders inside there, not tarantulas. So these ones lay, it's about the size of a cotton ball, and what she'll do is she'll hold it in her fangs and she'll keep rolling it for about 50 days, and then after 50 days, they'll burst open, and all the little baby spiders. Does anybody know what a little baby spider's called?
It's linked.
Very good. Very good. Yeah. Top marks. Yeah, so it's called spider. We short. So yeah, spider spider. So this spider here,
Or I might just say that
she had babies about 3 weeks ago.
actually I don't
So
think
I've got all
stream.
her babies in the incubator.
Okay.
So there's going to be lots of little babies soon with her. And I've also had lots of babies. So
What would happen if you left the baby in there with her?
no, she wouldn't actually. No. But what babies do, unfortunately, when they grow up, so you know, like when you fight with your brother and your sister, right? If you're a spider, it gets a little bit more tasty than that. Because what they end up doing is they end up eating each other. So yeah, once they shed into a baby tarantula stage, they usually just run away from each other. Because if they
Royals
shed,
break.
they're going to start baiting on each other and start killing each other. Yeah. So the last time she had babies,
Have
she
you
had
got
over
your baby
400.
slim?
So I had
Baby slim,
400
show me
tiny
your slim.
pots
You
that
slim,
have to
your baby
water,
slim.
feed, look after. Yeah.
The baby one's there.
Yeah, there's a little baby in that pot actually. There.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not of hers, but there is a baby spider in there. You have to. So what? Yeah. So literally, what I tend to do is I've got like a little pet or a brush, and you're just encouraging one to go into the pot, stick a lid on it, put it to one side, and you just keep repeating that process. Yeah. It usually takes about 3 or 4 hours to catch them all and put them into pots, and then when you're feeding them, that's another 2 or 3 hours just to feed babies. Tiny crickets, so baby cricket basically. So the adults have adult crickets, the babies have baby. But you can give them mealworms, locusts, roaches, cockroaches. They'll eat anything that moves, basically. Because, well, that's true, that. If you offered them a dead insect, 9 times out of 10, the spider wouldn't touch it. Because the predatory animals, they need to kill.
How big is it?
So the biggest spider in the world, or biggest tarantula, can get a leg span of up to 12 inches. So if you've got a dinner plate in the kitchen, that's a 12-inch circumference. So if you spread the spider out, legs to legs, it will cover that dinner plate.
Just press
and
off
I've
it.
got one in here that's just a little bit smaller than 12, which is that's it. So this is called a Goliath bird eater. So in the wild, there have been known to take baby chicks out of nests and things like that. So that's the biggest species in the world. And then you've got other terrestrial species here. So terrestrial means they live on the ground. But there are all spiders that live in trees. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different spiders to look at. This one's the biggest. So if you are a little bit scared of spiders, I suggest you don't look at this one. And then we've got some different species here. So if people want to come up and have a look at those, they're all tarantulas, yes. Yeah. So tarantulas have hairs all over their body. A bit like me, I've got hairs all over my body.
And I'll probably show it.
So if you look at spiders that you see over here in our country, a lot of them don't have. And tarantulas use their sense prey or if there's any danger. So one of the things that you should never do if you're on a tarantula is keep it near speakers that are too loud, because the vibration from the speakers affects their sensory organs through the hair, and it drives them mad. Yeah.
So when they're born, are they born with that pattern or
No, usually when they're born, they're all just one single colour. They're normally just beige or brown, and they don't look anything like the other adults. As they grow, they start to get ravel colours through. So even though you'll have to trust me on this one, the spider that I brought in today looks like any other baby spider, but it will grow into one that actually looks like that, or looks like the one on the t-shirt. Because those are one of my favourite spiders. This one, I have. In fact, now I'm going to ask you all a question now, so you can get the closest. How long do you think a tarantula can live? 8. Okay. Any advances on 8?
Say, I'd say 20. 17.
Right. So typically, a female tarantula will live between 20 to 25 years. Now, a male tarantula, fortunately, doesn't live as long, because once he matures and he becomes ready to reproduce, he will not survive again. But the only thing he's got to do for the rest of his life is try and find a female spider and make lots of babies before he gets eaten.
Typical man.
Yeah, but this is where female tarantulas get their own back, because it is very common for male tarantulas to be eaten.
Yeah, but we have either female.
Yes, yeah. So, I took it by marriage, right? But it's over a lot quicker if you're a male tarantula, whereas you die slower when you're married. I can say that because I've been divorced twice.
So it'll mate with the female and then she'll like instantly kill it, or
She'll try to.
Oh.
But so it's 50-50 whether the male can run away in time or whether it gets eaten.
would you not kill her?
No.
Yeah, you're not trying.
She's too big.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
He's like a bite-sized snack for her.
all right.
Yeah. So
Basically fast food.
yeah. So the male are often smaller than
Because
the
when we got
females.
takeaway show.
So this one, even though this isn't a live bird eater, the females will get to 12 inches. He's probably only about 9.5, 10. That's spread. He's still a big spider, don't get me wrong. But compared to the female, it's like Lewis said, a bit of a treat. A bit of a snack. So at a certain point in time, the molts are very important because we use the molts in order to sex them. So there's an area. So a spider probably won't be able to see because it's quite an old molt now, but a spider breathes through what's called butt lungs. So they don't breathe air like we. They have to absorb it. It's more like a fish. If you think of a fish that absorbs oxygen in the water, a spider absorbs oxygen from the air. So they're called butt lungs. They've got tiny little slivers of skin where they can capture the oxygen. And we've got 2 sets of those, so there's 4 butt lungs in total. The top 2 set is where the reproduction organs are. So in a female, she has typically it looks like a little crown, like a semicircle. A male, it's not; it's completely flat. He doesn't have any of that. So you have some leg lips, should we call them? I'm allowed to say that. I've just said it. So a female will have those, a male won't, and that's how you can sex them. So for people like me who like to breed spiders, that's something very important that I check when the spider molts. Whether a male or a female.
When you buy a spider.
No. It takes a while before they grow big enough for you to see anything. Because if you take a look at the baby spider that I brought along there, it is like that.
It's not even as big as your fingernail.
It's 1 centimetre. So its leg span is 1 centimetre. Yeah, they kill each other. So when I mentioned before about brothers and sisters attacking each other and killing them, most spiders, there's only a couple of species, but most spiders, most tarantulas will kill each other. And in fact, that's how I got into spiders. I used to breed tropical fish, and back in the 80s, I think it was now. I know, who'd have thought I'm that old? So back in the 80s, I used to breed tropical fish, and I used to sell some of my fish to a local pet shop. And this local pet shop owner, Brian it was called, he says, says, "Hey Phil, come and have a look what I've got. I've got some exotics." And it was 2 spiders. One of those was Mexican red meat, and the other one was a desert one. And so he got one of his fish tanks, put polystyrene roof towel like this in between them like that, and he had these 2 spiders. And I went in the next day. There was a big hole in the polystyrene tile, and there was only 1 spider. And I thought, that's cool. I'm having that spider. and that's how I got into spiders. So yeah.
Yeah.
You have a dinner time, obviously.
Yeah. So it
Don't stop much.
essentially spider got through the polystyrene.
Get to a cheeseburger before.
Yeah. So if I turn the skin upside down.
We're not even sure.
Yeah, it won't harm you.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you're an insect, it's not a bad idea. But it won't harm. No, never been bitten. No, I've been bitten by a garden spider. Yeah, and I was just putting some gardening on, digging away, and I thought I'd got a rose thorn. Took the gloves off, big garden spider. So yeah, that's the only time I've ever been bitten by a spider.
Yeah.
Did you get into
God knows. I can't even remember. I think it was about 2019, 2018. I started off with millipedes and stick insects. That's what I started off with.
Yeah, so that's what I think. So does anybody want to see a real life spider?
Yeah.
Now,
Honestly.
yeah, no. So one thing you should never do with a tarantula is hold a live one.
They'll have to put it up on the TV, can't
What?
the spider?
Yeah, can do, yeah. So does anybody know why we should never hold a tarantula? 2 reasons, really. Correct. Yeah.
Breaks the abdomen.
Yeah, it does. So inside the spider, because their skeletons on the outside, not like ours, because our skeletons on the outside. The only thing that makes the spider move is hydraulic pressure, basically. So they're just full of liquid inside because their skeleton's on the outside. So if this was a live spider and I dropped it, her abdomen got split open, she would just bleed out. Now, I have had males that I've tried breeding to front and forward, and you can sometimes rescue them to suit form, but it's very, very rare. Because basically what you have to do, you have to stop that liquid coming out. Otherwise, the spider's just going to bleed out. So I never hold my live spiders because I'm not bothered about getting them. I'm stupid fault. But what I am worried about is dropping any of my spiders. Because if I drop her or him, chances are they're going to die. And the last thing I want to do is kill my spiders. Because they're my pets, basically. So yes. So what we'll do now is, and Lewis is going to photograph and film each of the spiders. I'll show you some live ones now. So you've had a chance to see the skin, and now you can see different spiders that are actually alive. Okay. So I will take the lid off, but what I'll have to do is make sure that the spider's calm. Okay. If the spider looks as though it's going to try and run away or anything, I'll quickly put the lid on and everybody will be safe, including the spider. Okay? So if anybody wants to come up and have a look, then please do. But obviously just come up nice and calm, and then we'll have a look at some live ones.
You can see it up there, Phil.
All right, okay.
That's it, it's alive, you see.
All right. So if you want to, the screen's there. All right. So this one here is the Goliath bird eater. So this is the one that can grow up to 12 inches in leg span. Okay, so this one is a male. So he's already been he's been playing with a couple of my females already, and he's here to tell the tale. Thankfully. So that is the biggest spider you can get in the world, but it's usually the females that are actually the largest.
Do they just stay still like that for ages?
Can do.
Yeah, they can do. If they were disturbed, they might try and run away. You know, if somebody blew on them, for example, you know, or tap the tank, then that might startle them. Okay. So that's the Goliath bird eater. Yeah, they can do. So the spider, is trying to get out of the corner. So this one here is called a Grammostola pulcher, which is the Brazilian black velvet. So they get that name because if you look at the hairs on them, it's like velvet. It's got really short, fine hairs, and it does look like velvet.
I've got one of these, but it's in pre-molt at the moment, so I can't bring it.
It's in what?
Pre-molt molting it
Oh,
still,
right,
so I can't
So
bring
it's
it.
getting ready to molt and get bigger, basically. And when they do that, they're very fragile. So as Lewis has done today, it's best to keep them at home.
Yeah.
None of these are in pre-molt, so I know
When
they're
they
okay.
molt, is it?
Yeah,
When they molt, do they look like that inside?
yeah.
So they're already
Exactly like that. They already come out, yeah. So in either like that means it's dying. If you see a spider like that means it's molting, because they lay on the back. Yeah. Because what they do is they split that
Do you
bit
ever find one in
open.
your house on its back?
No.
You don't have any spiders like that molt?
No.
Oh yeah. We have in our houses, they tend to molt in their webs.
Yeah.
But because these are big spiders,
Yeah.
they can't live in a web because they're too heavy.
Yeah.
So what they do is they tend to lie on the ground, and the first thing they do is they split this bit here, the carapace, and they then push the new legs out and leave the skin behind.
How
So-
long does it take them to molt?
It can take up to 24, 48 hours for an adult to molt. So do you remember when I was saying that it's full of liquid? So if you look in there, can you see all those different tubes? That's where the liquid makes those legs move when they're walking.
Amazing.
So that's the Brazilian black velvet, which is one of the prettiest spiders.
Oh,
so there's a lot of people in the hobby that's what everybody wants in the hobby.
They're going
basically.
mad prices at the moment.
Yeah, they got bonkers for those. This one here is called Grammostola rosea.
You get two forms of this.
Yeah,
A brown one with like pink hairs. That's the classic form. And then
she's got red.
this is the red form.
Yeah.
This is a lot more sought after.
Yeah.
Harder to get.
So these come from Chile, because they're called the Chilean rose, basically. So they're native to Chile. As Lewis said, this is the one that's most desirable in terms of colour form.
Yeah.
There's others that just have browny grey legs with that pink carapace. So the carapace is that body part at the front where the eyes and the fangs are. The back section is
I've got a
the
classic,
abdomen.
but it's in pre-molt and it's in Wales at the moment. So
It's nice.
So its eyes are at the top of the head.
How many eyes do they have?
8.
Is
Yeah,
it?
yeah, they have 8 eyes. Yeah. So if you actually look through there, if you hold that up to the light, you can see where the eyes are. Well, they're right at the front. I haven't got my bins on, so you might not see that with me. But if you hold up to that section at the front, that's where the lenses are for the eyes. Because when they molt, everything's replaced.
Even the eyes and everything.
The eyes,
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah, everything's replaced.
Which one's that? Oh yeah, that's.
So that's
these
the
are not too
rosea.
bad.
This
These
one
ones.
here is a Mexican red knee.
Oh,
He is a bit skittish, this one. Yeah. So those are sort of like these ones.
Yeah.
Same species.
Oh, thank you.
Is this a Smithy or?
Yeah, that's a Smithy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brachypelma Smithy. So when most people think of a tarantula, that's the one that
most people think of,
Yeah.
the orange and black one.
Yeah.
There's the Smithy and the Hamoria.
Yeah. But in the wild now, so these are on the CITES list, which is the endangered species list, because they were already collected.
Nah, these not mine.
Once people in Mexico realised they could sell it on the pet trade, everybody went digging all of the females out in the wild, took them all, sold them to America and England and Europe, and there just wasn't enough left in the wild.
How much would one of those be?
It depends. Females probably about 100, 150.
That's
Something
because
like
it's
that.
the CITES.
That one.
Most expensive usually is a female version of that and a female version of that.
How much are they?
They can be about 200 quid for a
and
adult female.
they're about 250 at the moment.
Yeah. It depends where you buy from. Yeah, she's moving around now. So in this one, I think this is Lewis's favourite spider.
One of my favourites, yeah. Besides the mini version over.
Yeah. So this one's called the Green Bottle Blue.
This is my next purchase, this.
So.
No, I don't like the look of that one.
Do you not like the look of that one? No. Why's that?
I don't know.
It's got emerald greens, if you look.
Yeah, so you can see why it gets its name, the Green Bottle Blue, because it's got blue legs, green bottle carapace, and then an orange abdomen.
I don't like that hairy bit.
The hairy bit.
It's just a bit weird, that one,
Yeah.
isn't
No, the one at the end's really hairy.
I was going to say the one at the end.
Yeah, she's really hairy. That's my dream.
Green bottle blue.
I like that, yeah. I think it looks
Can you
cool.
see that?
No. Sorry.
Oh, I like it.
I don't know about that one.
I like it.
So what I brought along today are some examples of how different the colours can be with tarantulas as well. So they're all different colours. You know, they can be any colour basically. So you've got blue ones, you've got red ones, you've got like rose, black, brown. You know, all sorts of different colours that
All the
can
web.
be. Yeah. So do you remember when we were talking about webs earlier?
This is one of the ones.
This is one of the ones that put a lot of web down. Most of them don't. So none of these have got webs in there.
They're called terrestrial, and this is a semi-arboreal, which means it climbs up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they tend to climb when they're younger. When they're adults, they usually stay on the bottom like she does.
So why does that one make like loads of web, but the others don't?
It's just that particular species. Normally in the wild, they would live in root systems and things like that. So they tend to build their own tunnels to stay safe. Whereas these would just hide in a little cave somewhere.
Yeah.
No crickets.
That's just food. Yeah. So
We're not letting them ones out.
No. Yeah.
Wild.
I dropped the
Telling you.
I dropped a ton of
If
those
you
on the
let
dead
one of them
ones.
out, you're on your hands and knees collecting every single one of them.
Yeah. No,
Out of mine.
I dropped the tub on the bed once. I had to lift my quilt up before crickets and just throw it out the bedroom window. And then finally, this one's called a curly hair tarantula.
My dream spider, that.
This is quite common in the hobby.
And the reason why it's called curly hair is hopefully quite evident with.
Is that a wild form or?
That's a Nicaraguan form.
Yeah. Wild form. Because there's different forms. There's the hobby form and the wild form.
Through that one, so I don't like it.
Oh.
You've made us sad.
Yeah.
You've made us sad.
You might find it in your bed later.
Well, we got a spider in my bed and it's my boyfriend.
What's the white stuff?
So this one actually, she laid an egg sac and she's got some babies at my house. So the reason why she's got white stuff down is because that's the remnants of the egg sac that she made, and all the. She'd probably turn around and flinch and try and get you, but
Would she bite
she might do.
if you scare her?
Yeah. What they tend to do is run away.
Yeah.
So particularly this species. So if you look closely on there, often they have a bald patch on the bottom. And the reason why they've got a bald patch is because when they've been spooked, they flick hairs off the legs. And the hairs have got tiny little hooks on them. And if they were in the wild and they were being hunted,
Yeah, they do that.
those hairs would go, they'd go up in your nose, in your eyes, and you as a predator would go, don't like that. You know, it's very irritating.
Worst thing you can do is rub your eyes.
Yeah. And this species here, the hairs on them are the worst. Like, I often wear gloves when I'm dealing with them. Yeah, because you end up with a big rash from those. So those are tarantulas.
I like them.
We do some of mine now, Phil.
Yeah.
A zebra knee.
Yeah. That's a bit of info about if my zebra knee. Her name's Garnet. I've had her for about 3 years. There's a bit of info if you want to read about her. Yeah, there's 3 forms. There's a black and white form, a blue form, and a brown form. This is the wild form, the blue form. No, the brown form, sorry. Should we try and get some video of her? She likes to hide.
So she has for 20 years.
Yeah.
Male's only 5.
This one can be sassy. She likes to shake her bum in your face.
Should we sit down? So, see her long time. Come back over again. It's just Robert and that.
She's right by the lid.
Phil, she wants to see the baby one.
Oh, the baby one? It is. She's right by the lid. Mate. Oh shit. Can you see her? Mate, you can get her from the here.
There it is. Oh,
Beautiful.
You can see her on the camera. That's mine. Alex, you've just missed my big one. I've had it up on the camera.
Seen it on the thing.
Yeah, she's a bit skittish, so I'm just warning you. She's right there. She's fully grown now. She's just sassy. She really likes to shake bums in your face. That's good. Yeah. Are you still?
Should we put this back on tripod?
Yeah, if you want.
Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah.
It's alright, that works.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. Right, next one up is one of my favourites in the collection. It's called the Diamantiensis or Brazilian Water Blue. This originally came from Phil. I have had it for a while. Have you got camera, mate? It's a bit of a nutter. These are one of the ones that web up. Yeah. Can you get her there? She's decided to go into hiding.
Can't see her very good because of the web.
Do you want me to
try and...
You got her. We got her. That's that one.
Yeah. So what we do is when they finish feeding, like everything else. So in order to make sure that you don't get any fungus or mites when you store it on the substrate, you we usually do what's called spot clipping. So if you see the little bulb that's been blocked, usually just grab that with some time, swings or whatever, throw that away. Because if you keep time,
Have you got me close up?
probably only gets cleaned out.
Do I have here somewhere?
200%.
Yeah. 2 months later.
I've got a bit of info here. Like,
Is what my garage was. So that's just one to
Just correcting that.
Now,
yes, this is
yeah,
good.
yeah, this is just the whole thing.
It's just the big one.
Time for a score.
Right, we're going to move on to the next one. The next one is a scorpion. This is a Heterometrus sirenus. It's a type of Asian forest. It's done. It hasn't. Yeah, can you see it there?
Oh yeah, I can see it.
This is only a juvenile. It's not an adult. I've literally had it about 2 weeks. I've got a thing.
Try on it, Lewis.
Oh, it's H. Jennifer, sorry. There's info if you want to pass it around.
Just trying to move around a little.
Yeah, it will.
So scorpions are a rapid as well.
Yeah.
They have 8 legs.
No, 6 something. 6, yeah.
Yeah, but the
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, is that one poison?
So like a bee sting if you got stung. I won't be bringing it because I'd need the special license if it was
You can't have a special venomous license.
DW. That gets pre-killed mealworms. That. It's like I've got a fussy spider that will only eat pre-killed.
Dead,
Yeah,
but normally they eat them alive.
yeah, it's just fussy. Every time I get them beaten live, and then as soon as I get them, they're like, "Oh, we only want pre-killed now." So I'm like,
Bit of a pain.
How long will that start?
they live 5 to 7 years, but it depends on the species.
Have you ever had it?
No, that's why I've got these bad boys.
Have you? Do you know anybody about?
Oh yeah, I know a few people that have been stupidly messing around with African species.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. This is only a baby.
I think what Louis said there is the point that both people get the advice about your story because they're messing, they don't know how to treat them, and it's the wrong choice basically. The scorpion or a spider.
There's another bit of info. This one's only a baby.
More information there. This is the other.
This is the other one. Yeah, it is pretty.
Don't forget that was 10 seconds ago. It's already out.
It's a bit rapid.
Waiting for it.
Don't worry. I'll let it. Probably about a month old. Yeah, it's only a baba.
Where do you keep all yours?
I have a custom built wooden unit. It was a TV unit, and I drilled it through and converted it and put heating cable through it. And
So is that in your
it's in my nan's. in the back of the garage.
Now think of it all.
I'm not bothered. Next, we're going to move on to snakes. Which one do you want to start with?
Do you
want to start with Monty, Little Monty?
You want, yeah?
We'll start with Little Monty.
I'll have to find him first.
Yeah, it'll be like a needle in a haystack, this one. Yeah, it's actually 18-month-old, but it was mistreated, so it's only the size of a newborn. Yeah, this is... We've got a bit of info, actually, about him.
Yeah, his name's Monty.
He was called something else, but we changed. Corn. Yeah, Marquette's corn. Like, the person had only fed it 4 times. It had stuck shed on its tail, so nearly lost the tip of it. And it was kept in poo for, like, over 12 months. There's, with different snakes, the colours are called morphs. And this is what's called a marquette. It's a base codominant morph, which means it takes over other colours.
Completely different.
Yeah.
So what do you feed him?
He's actually eating pinkies at the moment.
Which are small baby mice. We've not had him like long.
I've only had him, what, 2 weeks?
Just realised.
Do they have a bite? No.
I got bit by my own one, but it was by my old one.
We got nipped by this once, but that's because we found out he had him and fed.
Yeah, I got nipped by him when I first got him.
But it doesn't hurt.
So it's just like needles.
Yeah. Shoot. No, not venomous.
You've got to have a license for him.
Yeah, unless it's mild venomous, which which don't like a beast, which I've had.
It's a big monster.
Nah, should we move?
To Phantom first.
Yeah, Phantom.
Right.
Do you want to pass the info around about
Phantom?
So in the next box.
this one?
The blue box.
Oh, in the blue box.
We're saving my one for last.
Yeah.
He's not shy when you got him out.
Yeah.
How long did he live today?
It varies on species, to be honest.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
On the info it says. His morph is a opal snow butter. He's beautiful.
Did they not mind you picking him up?
They tolerate it.
I handle mine every day. That's what he is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The snow's the albino. There's 2 types. There's T positive albino and snow albino.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Good grief, so that's a massive.
Because they're both male.
He's just really active, this one.
So that's crazy to think.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Oh, you don't feel like it.
You probably thought it was slimy, didn't you?
I've touched snakes before, but that one feels
He's very smooth.
softer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does it feel as
Yeah, you can touch him. It's honestly, it's fine.
The man will hold it, but you
That's because
yeah.
Come on, Adam. I'll walk you out. It's all right, Adam. Come on.
Honestly, he's the most gentlest thing ever.
Oh my god.
My 7-year-old brother, he's got autism, and he walked around with him.
He did have turtles, but they went.
Yeah. That's a bit close. Yeah, he's very calm. I was actually supposed to have my other snake with me, but
It decided to go into
she
shed.
decided she'd come into shed the day that I was coming to here.
What to do with its skin? Do you say?
I save them, yeah.
I don't.
My little brother's got all mine. He absolutely loves me snakes. Absolutely loves them. Right, so we move on to big monster.
Yeah, just wait for Rob to sit back down.
Right.
Is he okay with the tripod there?
So this one's yours.
Yeah, this is mine. Where's the info about? That's about Monty. Yeah, this is mine.
They're all called Monty.
Yeah, that Monty was called Monty after my Monty.
Yeah.
He's a royal python. Yep.
Yeah. He's going to be bred, hopefully, this year.
What colour is it? Looks like yellowy green.
Yeah, it's the colour of him. His morph is TSK is antic, pastel lesser, 50% het orange ghost. Something like that. It's called in America they're called a ball python because when to comfort they'll curl up into a ball. Yeah, he's chill.
He's just having a little snuggle.
When we first got him, he got out the box and fell asleep on my cousin in a car seat.
In the car seat?
Yeah, in the car seat. Yeah.
Very placid animals, he is.
Just don't go.
Very placid.
He won't bite.
Who's doing that? Does that one feel the same as?
No, it feels completely different.
He's a bit more rough, isn't he?
Yeah, see? That's what I thought when...
Feel him, he's completely different.
Yeah.
It's totally different.
Any?
Is he heavy?
I know.
Yeah, it depends. I've been waiting to meet you. They're absolutely beautiful. Oh my god. He is absolutely stunning. I'll have to get a picture of him just before we go.
Yeah, sure.
You know, with me.
Yeah, sure.
A bit rougher, isn't he?
Warm? Oh, no, very cold. I thought it was warm.
I want to get a picture with him before we
Yeah.
leave. Absolutely beautiful.
That's it, mate. He's starting to come unravel now. I'll see him in a minute. How big he
He's
is.
very active. How old is he?
4 to 5 he is. He's going to be a dad, hopefully, this year.
So you're going to breed him?
Yeah. That's him fully grown.
How do you know when they're bred? Do you have to watch them? So they know. Do that.
Especially spines.
Well, yeah.
Try to. So,
Yeah.
I tend to do it. So